So if I were to ask you right now, who gets the best out of you? Who in your life gets the best out of you? Meaning a coach, a mentor, a boss, a father, an uncle, a brother, a sister, somebody that gets the best out of you would probably come up with a couple names, right? But what if I ask you who in your life gets the worst out of you? Somehow, some way, they agitate you, they get under your skin, they make you feel insecure, bad, not good, and it doesn't make you perform. I'm not talking about a guy that drives you. I'm talking about a downer. Do you have people like that in your life? You can probably think about somebody in your life. So here's a question. What's more important? Is it more important to surround yourself around a bunch of these guys that are the winners who get the best out of you? Or is it more important to try to just avoid at all costs people who tend to get the worst out of you? Russell Wilson, who was a Super Bowl champion, got a hold of this one guy who was premier at developing a winner's mindset. His name is Trevor Mawad. When he got a hold of Russell Wilson in 2012, they talked every single day on the phone until he died in 2021. I'm going to share with you 5 techniques he used to get people mentally strong that'll give you some insight into it. If you get value from the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Let's get right into it. So I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor of this video, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service and it's online, 25,000 therapists. It's an important thing here to tell you a story about what happened to me years ago. 20 years ago, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm in LA, and I'm talking to my business colleagues who are bigger than me, and I said, hey, is there somebody I can go talk to? They said, there's this therapist in Santa Monica. I would drive an hour away because this guy would work with C-suite executives and founders to go sit with this guy. 1, it wasn't discreet. There was other people in there. 2, at a 2-hour drive in LA traffic, couldn't stand it. And 3, I didn't have a lot of other people that specialized specifically in business. This was my only guy. I wish there was a platform that had more options, that was online, that was discreet, and you do now. It's called BetterHelp. So to take advantage of BetterHelp, you can simply go to betterhelp.com/valuetainment. Once again, betterhelp.com/valuetainment. You get 10% discount for the first month of service you use with them. Russell Wilson goes into the NFL. I think his draft was 2012. This guy's got a reputation with Nick Saban. He's worked with over a dozen first-round draft picks, 700 athletes. Coaches start believing in this Trevor guy's mindset of developing leaders. When him and Russell Wilson met for the first time, Russell Wilson said, hey man, it's good to meet you. He says, I hear you're supposed to be great. And he says, what are you supposed to be great at? He says, in developing a winner's mindset. So what is a winner's mindset? He had 5 techniques he used. Here's the first one. Go neutral. He says, neutral thinking means accepting the idea that when something good or bad happens, it just happens. Instead of getting caught up in the negativity of a bad past or a mental or physical mistake, you just accept that it happened and move on. Meaning, a lot of times when you're doing things, if you're trying to do something big, you're gonna make mistakes. Or you're gonna be winning or you're gonna be losing. You're gonna feel like, oh my God, I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have done that. So that's his first technique. Here's the second technique. Stop giving credence to feelings. Feelings are confusing and misleading. Sometimes they are accurate depictions of reality and sometimes they're not. The more we pay attention to our feelings, the more we move away from our capabilities and our training. So that's why I say don't pay too much attention to your feelings. Interesting. Feelings, they come, they go. Don't give a lot of credence. Here's technique number 3. Use what you have. Russell recognized that he did not meet the very specific, rigorous standards predetermined by the NFL relative to height and other evaluations. Instead, he combined his behavior along with his aptitude for football and said, I'm going to use what I have rather than let the outside world tell me what I don't have. Again, remember, people that get the best out of you, people that get the worst out of you, people that get the best out of you typically work with what you have. People that get the worst out of you typically will compare you to other people on what they have and what you don't have, why you can't be as good as them, and somehow, some way they get the worst out of you. Not effective. Technique number 4. Focus on reducing negativity, not increasing positivity. Less negative is significantly more powerful than more positive. Look what he says. Less negative is more powerful than more positive. Having fewer people in your life that get the worst out of you is more effective than having more people in your life that get the best out of you. What? That's exactly how this thing works. Going back to how we started. Let me just give you the last technique and I'll give you some thoughts. Here's this 5th technique. Watch your language. What you say out loud is far more powerful than your self-talk. Great teams are great at communicating powerfully and positively with each other. It matters less what you tell yourself and more what you tell your teammates. You really got to watch your external language if you're going to succeed. So look, pick and choose whichever the 5 techniques apply to you. But for me, the biggest one is I was watching a video the other day of Dame Dash, and he just opens it up. He says, I hate negative people. He says, if the first thing I come up with while I'm thinking about ideas is your negative ideas why you don't think it could work out, I don't need you in my life. There's a time and place to talk about the problems, but when I'm dreaming, don't be negative. So again, go back to the first question I asked you. Who gets the worst out of you? You know what the problem with this whole concept is? Let me tell you why this thing sucks. You ready? You know why this thing sucks? When I ask you who gets the worst out of you, you know sometimes why this sucks? Because sometimes that person is blood and you love them and it's hard. Your dad, it's your mom, it's your brother, it's your sister, it's your cousin, your grandpa, your grandma. You're like, dude, I love you, but what the hell is the matter with you? And you get the worst out of people the way you do. It is so difficult to do what I'm about to tell you to do, and most people will not do it. You know how you go on a diet to not eat sweets? I'm not gonna eat sweets for the next 30 days. Or I'm not gonna eat any starch. Or I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna do that for 6 months. I haven't had any soda since July of 2019, I believe, okay? I don't know how long that is. That's a long time I haven't had soda. I used to drink 3 Coke Zeros a day. Haven't had any, right? How long do you think you can go avoiding those people that get the worst out of you? You think you can go on a 30-day diet? What do you think? If you live with them, you have a problem. If you live with them, you got a problem. But man, you got to do your best. It's like the ice cream is in the fridge and somebody else eats it. You have to avoid that ice cream. You got to avoid the people that get the worst out of you. See if you can do for 30 days. See what happens to you. See if you can do for 60, 90 days. See what happens to you. Life changing. I'm convinced as much as somebody can lift you up and how powerful these people are to say, I believe you can do it. Go get them. I believe as powerful as these guys are, the people that know how to pull you down are 100 times more powerful than these guys. I'm convinced. Because if it wasn't the case, more people would be winning in life. But they're not, because these guys are so freaking good at what they do. And they got you as well, many times. Now, some of you are watching this. This one's gonna hurt, so brace for impact. You're not gonna like this part, and then you're gonna give me a thumbs down or whatever you're gonna do. It's all good. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. Some of you guys are watching. It's like, you know what? It's my boss. It's that person. It's this person. All the people that get the worst out of me. That's why I'm not winning. No, you may be that person for somebody else. Not saying you are. And you say, well, how do I gauge this? Very simple. You ready? How many people around you, the 5 people you hang out with the most, are winning in life? They're positive and they're happy. If they are and they're advancing and life is getting better, you're not that person. But if the 5 people around you in your life are all bitching, complaining, struggling financially, always blaming somebody else, you get to pick and choose. This was not a message for everybody. But either way, whatever it is, I was at church this Sunday and the guy was giving a message. It was a powerful message. My son decided to go to the big room with me. Tico was here, Senna sitting here, and we're sitting there listening to this guy give this message. Powerful. The great thing about life, the reason why there's this word called grace, I was a screw up for a big chunk of my life. I chose to change. At any point, you and I can change. However, some of you that are watching this, St. Patrick, the reason why I'm still hanging around people that get the worst out of me, because I believe I can change them. What if I can change them? I didn't say you could change them. I said God could change them. If you think you can change them, you think you're God? Oh, that's a big risk you're taking right there. I don't recommend it. One of the most powerful affirmations in my life. At 26 years old, I added, you know what it was? Stop trying to be God. That job is already taken. And some of you may be trying to be God. You can't change those people. Only they can change people. Only life can change them. And only God can change them. And if you want to be God, you can spend 10, 20, 30 years wasting your life thinking they're going to change, and they're going to suck you down to their level. Heavy message. Congratulations. It's Monday. This is when the video goes out. If it's the right message, it can change your life. For the right person watching this, you may even be emotional right now in the car listening to this glued. Pull over the car because you got some thinking to do. I understand how heavy today's message could be because it was very heavy for me 20 years ago, 18 years ago, when I had to make this choice. Very, very hard. Very emotional, very hard, but I'm thankful I did it. And you will be as well. If you got value from this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I got another video for you to watch. I deal with negative team members. If you've never seen it, click here to watch the video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.